Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. Earlier today, the Cleveland Guardians got a much-needed win against the Detroit Tigers, 6-1. The Guardians put it away in the bottom of the 8th when Bo Naylor and Brian Rocchio both homered to put 5 runs on the board for Cleveland. This keeps the Gardos alive with a chance to win the series tomorrow at 1 p.m. Later tonight, the Cincinnati Reds take on the LA Dodgers at 9. The Reds are in a winner-go-home scenario, trying to extend the series coming off of a 10-5 loss last night. The Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees are getting underway right now. The Red Sox got the best of the Yankees yesterday in a 3-1 win. They look to close out the series today. In NFL news, the Cleveland Browns are benching veteran quarterback Joe Flacco and will turn to rookie Dylan Gabriel as their starter for Sunday's game in London against the Minnesota Vikings. Flacco will serve as Cleveland's backup, while rookie Shadur Sanders will remain the third-string quarterback. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's standing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
And Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy Justin Zwick. Jay-Z, Isaiah behind the glass tonight. Jay-Z, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. What's going on? Good to talk to you.
Oh, it's been a great week so far. Beautiful weather outside. Yeah. The Bucks won another game, so just everybody in Columbus is living the high life right now.
Got homecoming weekend coming
up. I think they're very happy that's a night game.
I think they are too, and I think they're happy that it's Minnesota coming into town as well. Little man wasn't feeling great today. I'm like, you know what? Let's get out of the house a little bit. Let's go get some fresh air. Went to Tim Hortons for a little breakfast. Grabbed a breakfast.
What's his
sandwich.
breakfast? You get him a donut?
I got him like the 4-pack, the smallest you can get of Timbits.
Ooh, okay.
And then a sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich.
Hey, living large, my guy.
That's what he's doing. He's 2.5. He's growing. He's eating probably 3/4 of the sandwich and most of the donut holes.
That's good to hear.
And we were, sitting there, and we were we were sitting next to some lovely older gentlemen, and they were talking about homecoming, and they were wearing their Ohio State stuff, and Willie just goes up to him. He goes, "That's Buckeyes. That's Buckeyes. Go Bucks. OHIO."
That's awesome.
And they were starting to laugh. They're like, "Man, you really got him trained well." And I'm like, "Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got him trained well." And then I said, "Are you feeling better?" He goes, "Yeah." So, "Do you want to go to school?" "Yeah." I said, "Okay, let's go." Because I thought I was going to be solo dadding today, like with kid with a fever. And then we gave him some Tylenol. Boo! Fever dropped down. We put some boots on and some socks, and then we were out the door and ready to rock. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good Wednesday.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I just played a couple holes of golf and, just tried to make it through.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Yeah, I'm sure you did just fine. I'm sure you did all right. We got a great show lined up for you here tonight. Austin, he's going to join us from the Woody coming up at our next segment around 6:17. We'll do the College Football Pulse. Some pretty big news in the Big Ten that was just coming out about private equity getting involved, and you'll have to explain that to me, Justin, like I'm 5 years old, because I read this article like 4 times. I'm like, I don't get it. But we'll go over that coming up here at 6:30. We'll do some Ryan Day sound coming up at the end of the show. Jay-Z, where are you at on this Ohio State offense right now? We've had time to decompress after Saturday, after the immediate aftermath and doing the post-game show. We've had a couple of days to kind of, think about where this offense is. Saw Julian Sayin 20 of 22 for passes inside of 10 yards, which is phenomenal. Again, I keep kind of going back to the Texas game plan. Like, first game on the road, you kind of want to keep, the cruise ship in the lanes. Yep. You don't want to deviate too much, put too much on his plate, but I feel like you could open it up a little bit. Ryan even said it after the Texas game. I think he was kind of echoing those same thoughts. You play to win the game, obviously, but where are you at right now as a whole with this Ohio State offense?
Well, I think it's been really cool the way they've been able to bring him along. Now, granted, that goes to how the defense is playing and, the team you have and the situations that you're in, but they really haven't had to put him in a ton of situations where he might not feel comfortable or, they've just really protected him a lot. And I think that's great for a young quarterback. But everything they've asked him to do, he does it really, really well. And, I think, we've talked about it, how great or how much better these teams are going to be. This team is going to be by the end of the year. And it's just another thing to knock off. It's always been, all right, first start, Texas, and at home. And then, it's a lot of first when you have, a new starter. And to go on the road, all we heard last week from everybody was how loud it is. This offense of theirs scores so many points, blah, blah, blah. And And all Julian goes out and does is, he just does what the offense asks him to do. Puts the ball on the guys. I mean, that screen, I was telling a buddy today, that screen pass, although it's a screen, screens are usually easy, blah, blah, blah. That was nice. Two guys running down on him, puts it right on the money. Jeremiah's running as fast as he can. How scary is that? Well, it's not as scary when you got a screen because you're goading him into it a little bit like, hey, come get me. Yeah. I know what's coming right now. But the fact that he can do that, retreat, give himself the time, let Jeremiah get there, and then put it right on the money. That's the thing with Julian. When the receivers are open and he knows what he's seeing, he puts the ball right there for him. So it's so easy to catch and so easy to just go ahead and move on. And he's been so good at it. So, I mean, like, just a little play. Like, when I first saw that, it caught me off guard because I'm watching the tight end go downfield. Like, we'll be taking a shot here. What's going on? Oh, here we go. And underneath. Underneath. It was really nice. And then as you rewatch that, you're like, man, he had two guys coming down on him. One free, one got by somebody. And he just hung in because he knew he had to just hang in there and just retreat a little bit. And then he just put it right on the money through the offensive line. I mean, when he wants to, it's just a perfect ball. And it's just so nice to watch. And it's just like, golly. If you're these receivers, man, you just know that he's got the feeling and he understands what's going on and he has the ability to just really give you a ball that you can work with. And I think it's really special. I think he's going to be, down the road, one of the guys that we think of when we think of Ohio State quarterbacks because he's just been very special. And they don't ask him to do a lot. It wasn't go out and win the game. And I give credit to Washington's defense. I thought they were a lot better than what I thought they were going into it. I thought they brought good pressure. I thought they stayed on him. And we got to see him move around in the pocket, have to, avoid rush, just do some different things that we hadn't seen him do yet this year. And I thought he did a really good job. He's keeping his eyes downfield. He's moving, finding receivers. I mean, for a young guy on the road to be doing that and have that, that calmness to him and just, his feet don't get happy. He doesn't create pressure. He just sees what he sees and feels it and, keeps his eyes downfield and puts the ball on his receivers. I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that's been one of my biggest takeaways. And anytime that, whether you're an Ohio State fan or you're an OU fan, you're an Indiana fan, whoever, like, you're always going to be in a course in time where you're going to be breaking in a new quarterback, right? Yeah. And whether it's a freshman, whether it's a sophomore, like, you got to check the boxes on these firsts along the way. And through these first 4 games, I think the thing that I've noticed most about Julian Sayin, and we talked about it all the offseason, like, his arm talent is there. Like, he can make the throw down the field. It was the main separator, I think, between him and Lincoln Kienholz in this quarterback competition. Like, that arm talent is there. We can build everything else up. His pocket present, Jay-Z, is pretty unbelievable for a kid who has never played big-time college football before. And to your point, he doesn't look shaky back there. Nothing looks rushed. He doesn't get flustered. He doesn't get panicked. He doesn't have one of those oh-no moments, oh-no throws. Now, certainly, like, interceptions will come. He's thrown a few this year. Red zone. It's going to happen. Austin and I talked about it last night. But at the same time, like, that's stuff that I don't know is being coached or is just naturally in him. That's a hard characteristic and trait to have as a young quarterback. Yeah, you can try and coach that as much as you want during practice, but these guys aren't getting hit nowadays, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you really don't. They were in spring. They said, let's go live. Yeah, I mean, we went live back in my day, but that was in camp, too. But no, I don't think they've gone live in camp other than Brutus being live a few, 10 years ago. Yeah. We can ask Joshua Perry about that next week. He was busy this evening, but they don't go live in camp. They don't go live, so it's really hard to tell what a quarterback's going to look like under the fire, like when people are really coming down on him. And he's just answered the bell. I mean, he just looks so calm, cool, and collected back there, and he doesn't get in his head. He just feels like, all right, here we go, boom, boom. And then we saw him, he outrushed Washington's quarterback, which, nobody had. Now, granted, there's a lot of sacks, and I understand that, but minus 28. To see a young quarterback who is not known as a runner, to go out and get those 12 yards or, to help with the field goal. And Ryan was very big on that yesterday during his press conference. I mean, it is huge because even though he's not going to be we're not going to run him quarterback runs like JT Barrett, but when the defense sees, well, this kid has a little bit of athletic ability to him, he can get out of the pocket. If we're not, it's going to make people maybe play him a little bit differently. Yeah, I agree. He's obviously he's not Damon Williams, right? He's not a Justin Fields. No, he's not Braxton. He's like me.
Sneaky
probably
athlete?
a little faster, probably a little bit better
This
athlete.
guy's sneaky
but
fast.
sneaky fast. He just gets out there and all of a sudden those legs get you, 10 yards. But it's not something he wants to do. But when it's there, and I thought that was really cool because a lot of times with the young quarterback, all right, it's not there, throw it away. Mm-hmm. But he's like, I'm out here, and he's done that very well. But it's like, I got some running room. I'm going to go ahead and try and help out our offense. They almost picked up that first down on that first series. That was a very close call. We don't end up getting it, but it would have been, 4th and 12 if he throws the ball away. I mean, it would have been something along those lines. Maybe 4th and 8, something, 4th and long.
Something where you're not even thinking about
so he gets there, and, it's like, oh, that's a really nice play by a guy who you don't really expect that from. So he's doing everything really well. We didn't ask him to do a lot. I thought that was a game that was kind of like a Texas game. Like, all right, we don't expect them to beat us. Let's just not beat ourselves. We also know
what this defense is.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, they know what they have.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't lose the game for us. Don't put them in a situation. And I thought we had some of that. And then, the second half, they come out and they're like, hey, we're going to go to Jeremiah here.
Yeah, we're running boom. We're running the 4 play.
Yeah, they are, sitting back on us, giving us room. We're going to take what they give us. And he does that great. And it's just, I think he's going to be a special player when it's all said and done.
Austin Ward, he's live at the Woody. We're going to check in with him, talk some Buckeyes coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app. Available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app. Free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Hey Buckeyes, I'm John Chabot with Surest, a digital-first health plan designed to make healthcare simple and affordable right here in Ohio. At Surest, we believe healthy small businesses are vital to our economy. That's why we're ready to give your small business a VIP opportunity through our small business sweepstakes. Winners will be recognized on the sideline at an Ohio State home football game. To enter, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Surest. That's SUREST. Surest, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
A Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Blue skies, light winds, and a warm start to October. Temperatures in the upper 70s on this Wednesday. Overnight, cooling off down to the low to mid 50s. We'll see plenty of sunshine on Thursday with temperatures back near 80 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
You know, my guy Justin Zwick. Tonight, right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He was with us last night. He's currently over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. He is Austin Ward, A-Ward Sports. Happy Wednesday. What do we got on the platter tonight over at the Woody?
Oh, it is a veritable feast, Beamer. We've got the left side, Austin Sareveld and Luke Montgomery. We've got Taiwan Malone. We've got Jalen McClain. We have Jaden Fielding. We have a Ryan Day lightning round. And the juiciest of all, a coach to be named later.
Oh, if you were a wagering man, which I know that you're not, who would your soft-earned dollars be on to be that coach to be named at a later date?
Well, I personally put in a request for James Laurinaitis.
Oh,
and so
we talk to that guy every Saturday.
It feels like you guys are the only ones who can get through to him. So I would love to get that picked up so that we could talk about this first 4-game stretch for both Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, because they've been phenomenal. And then part of, being a coach is also being their hype man when it comes to award season and, Butkus and All-American voting. Like that's believe it or not, about to pick up here because we're into October and college football still believes that it's 1950 and you have to mail out ballots.
Well, when you guys started talking about the feast, I thought it was really like food, and I thought it was maybe training table and
roosters.
What was going on there?
He's still working on those chips from Monday.
Oh, you better believe it, brother. I got one down. I got one more to get through. Being over at practice, I mean, what's the vibe like? They feel pretty good about coming back from Washington with a good win. Defense, of course, very excited, holding them to 6 points. What's it like? How's practice? How was today? Was it really tough? What's going on? I know you can't really see practice, but you can hear it.
Yeah, the clock just hit zeros on period 17, so they've switched that over. There's 5 more minutes really to go in practice, and they'll ramp it back down, JZ. But I think that this has been kind of like a return to normalcy for Ohio State this week, getting back in that routine. A, you're at home, but B, some of the conversation is more about getting things back to it's about us, whereas, and that's, with all due respect to Minnesota, the spread in this game is nearly 24 points. And I think they really took that trip out to Washington. They gave them a lot of credit on both sides of the football. And then traveling across the country, it was so out of whack a little bit. You had the off week, and then you had, leaving a day early for Seattle, and then getting a pretty, decent test out there. This is the one home game in the 6-week stretch, which is pretty wild to think about because they haven't played here since whatever that was, September 13th against Ohio. Had the off week, went on the road, then they got 2 road games and an off week after homecoming on Saturday night against Minnesota. So I think they're really, want to take advantage of this to the fullest before you continue this stretch because it's been been a little bit wonky with the schedule, and even going back to week 1 and just starting with Texas. Like it's been a challenging thing for Ohio State to manage. So settling in a little bit and being comfortable at home, but not complacent, I think that's sort of been the mantra around here.
He is Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Austin, if your wish comes true and you do get Coach James Laurinaitis tonight for the coach to be named at a later date, what most do you want to hear from him? Is it scheme? Is it Arvell and Sonny's development? And Peyton Pierce obviously playing well too. Like, what is it most that you want to hear from him?
There's a big part of me, Beamer, that would just like the opportunity to be like, hey, why is everyone taking Sonny Styles for granted? And I know the answer, but because Arvell has been so phenomenal, and there's so many different ways to use him, and he is, soaking up the attention in a way that's justified. I'm not saying that it's not incredibly well-deserved or earned, but, this sort of happened a year ago when Sonny was the new linebacker, and Cody Simon sort of got taken for granted over the course of the year. And, I want to be fair with the praise and the accolades, because Sonny's probably not going to wind up with as much chance to win an individual award or be an All-American if there are a bunch of votes that are going to be going Arvell's way. So for me, it's about, continuing to make sure that the credit that is due is handed out, and Sonny deserves plenty of it. The other part of that is what has come right with Arvell here in this third year. James was, pretty famously inside this building pounding the table and say, well, Larry Johnson wants him at defensive end. He's working here. He needs to be a linebacker. James won that battle. And so we know that the skill set was always built to play that position, and that James Laurinaitis was, hoping for the opportunity to cultivate those skills and turn him into an NFL potential first-round pick, which he is certainly playing like one, and that conversation is going to continue to ramp up. So, what I guess for James, it's like, what else is out there? Because I think that between what he and Matt Patricia have been able to scheme up, we've only seen the tip of the iceberg of what he might be able to do over these next 8 games in the regular season and whatever's beyond that.
If you don't get him tonight, do you want Justin and I to ask him that on Saturday?
You can come in about 12:30, Austin, Sunday morning, and we'll get him.
Well, look, if I don't talk to James today, I am going to absolutely follow him out of the locker room for The Notebook on Saturday night, which you can watch on 10 TV Plus, and 97.1 The Fan's YouTube channel. Because, I want to give these guys a break. They don't need to talk to us all the time, but I must talk to James Laurinaitis at some point this week.
You can film him while he's doing the post-game interview with us around 12 o'clock probably on Saturday evening into Sunday morning. What else is piquing your interest this week, Austin, as you really ramp up Big Ten play back at home? You mentioned it, primetime game, Minnesota coming into town. Phillip Daniels' revenge game, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also a little bit of a personal bounce back for him after a couple penalties last week at Oregon. He's been really good. I think one of the more pleasant surprises on this team for Ohio State. He's going to be seeing some familiar faces that they may want more revenge on Phillip Daniels. And Minnesota's got, by the way, I don't know if they're really good, but they've been really productive on their defensive line so far. They're 5th in the country against the run. I think it's 65 yards a game. They've got 7 different players with multiple tackles for loss in these first 4 games. So, they haven't played the stiffest competition in the world. They also lost to Cal, which is not a loss that any Big Ten team wants on their ledger. But if we're starting to look, we're here on a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. This game is getting closer. It's a Big Ten game. What's the challenge going to be? I think it is for the Ohio State offensive line, and we've looked at this ground game and said, has it been as consistent, patching everything together? Offensive line, who's the running back that you want to rely on the most? Is it Bo? Is it C.J. Donaldson? What's the role for James Peoples moving forward? This is the part where you look at that matchup, and statistically, and I don't know if 1 through 85 on the roster or even 1 through 5 on their defensive line or in the front, if that is a winnable matchup for Minnesota. But when you just scan through the box score, and they've done some things and created, havoc plays in the backfield, that's probably where we have to begin as we get ready for Saturday at 7:30.
Yeah, you talk about the numbers on defensive side of the ball. I mean, do you think our offensive staff for Ohio State is going into this game? I mean, I don't know if it felt like this to you, but last week, kind of felt like maybe at Texas we're holding things back here? And do you think this defense is something that we can go out and get whatever we want? Or you just talked about their defensive line and how good they've been. Is this going to be one of those, hey, let's just not lose the game on offense and let the defense do what they do?
Yeah, I think I'd be curious, what you saw from some of those defensive looks, JZ, because I know that Ohio State, and I talked to several of the, coaches after the game and after we turned off the cameras on the notebook just to, sort of pick the brains about what they saw offensively. And they kept pointing to the limited number of possessions early on in that game. You had the failed fourth down on the opening drive. You fumbled the punt return. But then, they only had 3 in the first half. And I think they felt like on the final drive, they'd started to figure some things out. But they saw, some shell looks. They weren't going to give up the deep ball. They saw some zone looks that were not really what Ohio State had seen on film from Washington in the first few games. And I think they wanted more opportunities to figure out how best to attack Washington. And once they got into the locker room, I think they put together a plan. When you look at the second half, it was about as efficient as you could hope for if you're Ohio State, especially on the road against a talented team. And part of that is you just come out and take 2 play-action throws, and Jeremiah Smith can't be covered. And I think that they built on some momentum from there. I don't know that they have to come out and throw the football 40 times. I don't know if they have to have, 10 throws over 20 yards downfield or whatever it is, because the defense puts Ohio State in a position where they can play more conservatively. And I know that is often not what anybody wants to hear from the Ohio State offense, where they can and should and maybe will dictate whatever they want to do on offense. But, they don't have to be ultra aggressive every Saturday to win against some of these opponents. And Minnesota is one of them. And whether that's you're saving, stuff in your playbook or saving snaps on the bodies over the course of the year, or a combination of both of those things, it really makes sense to me that Ohio State can approach a lot of these games that way.
Hey, before we get you out of here, do the Reds win for Berm on his birthday?
Nope.
Oh, there's no way. I'm not the person, Beamer, to go to for baseball analysis, but I know for sure that's not happening.
If Berm's rooting for him, not going to happen.
No chance. No chance. What did he do today? Do you know?
Sorry, Reds fan.
What was he doing?
I don't know. The phone dropped out. I sent him that clip last night, Beamer.
Was he not aware of it?
Why we were laughing so hard? He just knew that something silly had happened, and he said, "Well, that's funny." I said, "Yeah, it is."
It was very funny. Austin, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us. Have a great evening over at the Woody, and I'll talk to you next week, all right?
That sounds great. See you, boys.
There he goes. Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. If you missed what Austin was talking about last night, when we were talking to Berm, you can always go back and listen to the podcast or rewatch the YouTube show from last night. He was on about 6:30, about 24 hours ago, and his phone dropped off at the weirdest time, and he followed it up with, we had no idea what was talking about, and it was Radio Gold. And he had no idea that his phone dropped out, but it was a bad spot for him. What do you know about private equity? We are going to try to find out about Big Ten and private equity here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
2 blockbuster game shows, 1 jackpot-sized night. Fox Tonight, the floor is back with a Stars and Stripes showdown.
I'm Rob Lowe, and it's a state against state battle.
Then,
84 players remain.
Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host the new $1 Million game show, where the games look simple.
Players must catch potatoes with a fork.
Until the pressure's on.
Know what it's like to unfreeze a pair of pants?
To win the $1 million, they've got 99 to beat.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade upgrade or join the squad and puts your fandom in drive.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
You can always watch the show on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, type in 97.1 The Fan. Boom, our show is going to be there live as well as any other show that we've got across all of our networks. Coming up at 7 o'clock, The Inside Edge with Bobby Mack. So do some Jackets talk. All right, let's do the Pulse.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Now, Justin Zwick and I are not private equity guys. You know, I don't really know much about anything when it comes to investing, private equity, public equity. I don't know. But Isaiah, on the other hand,
he's got it dialed
my
in.
friend, are the expert in this and what is going on with the Big Ten and some unnamed private equity firm.
Similarly to you, I read that article, I don't know how many times. I just kept reading the first 3 paragraphs, and I was like, this will start making sense if I just keep reading it at some point. But from this is what I've gathered. So according to ESPN's Pete Thamel and Dan Wetzel, the Big Ten is weighing a possible $2 billion private capital deal. The proposal would create Big Ten Enterprises, which is essentially a new arm to handle revenue streams like TV rights and sponsorships. Another reason this is important is by extending the grant of rights, the Big Ten would slam the door on schools leaving and blocking Super League proposals. So if you want it to be like the NFL, where there's an AFC and NFC, this stops that.
So,
which I thought that was where it was going to go anyway.
I did too, and I think that private equity's getting involved. The Big Ten maybe said, we don't want to go away as a conference like the Pac-12 did a couple of years ago, so you know what, we're going to protect ourselves. Yeah, so to Isaiah's point, the discussions include a 10-year extension of the league's grant of rights deal. And so grant of rights, that deals with TV. You hear grant of rights a lot in the last couple of years dealing with Clemson and Florida State suing the ACC for the grant of rights deal for the ACC, where it would be incredibly expensive for them to get out of the ACC. It's very punitive for them to leave, right? $300-some million, whatever it is, whatever the number is. So that would be extended. And the extension of that would have the same TV deals as what the Big Ten currently has. So the deals with NBC, the deals with CBS, and of course, with Fox. And this also says, according to the sources in this ESPN article, the private capital deal and grant of rights extension have been discussed for months and presented in multiple forms. A deal and the grant of rights extension would also be a distinct blow to the outside entities and attempting to form super leagues around college sports, which is what Isaiah just said. While there is support from nearly the entire league, according to sources, a few of the biggest brands in the Big Ten, including Ohio State and Michigan, are still in discussions with the league, and the aim is to have unanimous support before a vote. Here's my idea of how this entire situation has gone down. Ohio State and Michigan, whoever else, decide, okay, we're the big dog on the conference.
Ohio State and Michigan.
Whatever you are offering, Rutgers, whatever you're offering, Northwestern, we are not on the same playing field as them. We have to get more. We run the league. We're the premier entities in the league. If you want to throw Penn State in there, you want to throw Oregon in there, okay, whatever, that's fine. But traditionally, Justin, it's been Ohio State, it's been Michigan.
Ohio State says we're doing all the noon games.
We're doing all the noon games.
Because we got the money, that's why we're doing it.
So if you want to extend the Fox Big Noon Kickoff, and we're going to get a lot of those games because perennially, more than not, Ohio State is very good at football, then we want more. So I'm guessing that's where the disagreement comes from. Now, it does go on later to say that it is a tiered system, but you never know what you're going to get for unless you ask for it. So I'm guessing that's maybe the distinction and the difference right now.
That's got to be what it is. That's the smart thing to do because any deal that we've had up to this point is just split right down the middle.
How many times have we talked over the last couple of years of like, Ohio State, their athletic department, they need to start throwing their weight around. You need to start throwing your weight around. Move that Texas game tonight. Move it to Sunday. They tried to do that. This, in turn, seems like, 16 teams, I don't know the entire number, out of the 18 are on board with it. Ohio State and Michigan currently are the only ones that are not. It seems to be that. Like, okay, well, we're not game for this, and we're not going to do it. Oh, boy, that creates a big problem in turn. So, yeah, good for Ohio State for asking what they're worth, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is, right? I mean, just give us what we are owed because we run this league and people tune in at noon on Saturdays because we are playing.
I am failing to understand, though, because when you think of private equity, and who was it in the NFL? Was it the Patriots? They sold like 3% of their ownership stake to a private equity firm on like a $9 billion valuation, I think. I understand that. Private equity firm comes in on a $9 billion valuation for 3%. 3% of $9 billion. Boom, you get 3% of the team. We pay you this much. Okay, whatever we earn in turn, that becomes then our money and our revenue. I don't understand the idea of this, though, because a league source told ESPN, think of it this way. The conference is not selling a piece of its conference. Traditional conference functions would remain 100% within the conference office, scheduling, officiating championships. The new entity created would focus on business development. It would include an outside investor with small financial stake. So you're not selling anything, is what it sounds like, but yet you're being paid $2 billion for it? That to me is the kicker. I've read that. I'm like, I don't get it. They're paying you $2 billion for what? Like they're just giving it to you? Because that's not the way that
would
works.
the TV money then go to them?
I don't know.
And then they give it out?
Don't know.
Yeah.
They got to be getting a kickback somewhere.
That has to be what it is. Right? We're going to give you $2 billion up front, and then we're going to take care of all the money coming in from here on out, and we give it out to the schools as we see fit.
Craig says on the YouTube chat, if it involves private equity, then it's written to not make sense. Yeah, I think it is.
That's what we should start with.
Thank you, Craig. Yes. Makes me feel better about myself because it did not make sense.
Another source familiar with the Big Ten's discussion summed it up this way. We're underselling the strength of what we are, the way that we're structured. This is the way to organize ourselves better. Again, that is fine to say. Nobody's paying you $2 billion to organize yourselves better. Where is that? What is the money going to that in turn you are giving up? You are giving up something. If nobody's going to come to you, if someone came to me right now and said, hey, Brandon, $2 billion bucks right to you. And I'm obviously not worth as much as the Big Ten. Someone comes to me and says, hey, $500 for you to be more organized. What do I have to do? Nothing. Okay, I'm in. See what I mean? Like, it just,
you got to be more organized.
I know I do have to be more organized, but nobody's paying me $500. In turn, $2 billion to do that with them getting nothing back in turn.
I don't understand it, I guess.
I don't either.
Yeah. So this did nothing for us.
Yeah,
or our listeners. Sorry.
We've learned nothing.
It might be happening, it might not.
I know. Was it the Big 12 tried to do
this?
They
did this, yeah. And they got huge pushback.
Yes. I don't know. I guess we'll have to put a pin in this until someone smarter than us can go on and explain it. Isaiah, I think we've got time for one more here tonight.
All right, the other one we've got here is New Orleans will host the 2028 College Football Playoff National Championship at Caesars Superdome. This will be the third city to host the college football title game twice. And the game has also been hosted twice in Atlanta, and then this year in South Florida, it'll be the second time there as well.
Yeah, so New Orleans, great hosting city. Have you ever been down there?
I was there for the 07 game.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I'm glad I made it back. I didn't think I was going to for a little bit.
Yeah, it was. It's a great town. I've told this story multiple times. Went down there when Ohio State played Alabama in the Sugar Bowl in the 2014 run. Like that, it's awesome. Like,
it's a cool city.
It's a really cool town. The kicker on this, though, is when I'm reading it, like, Ohio State played a long season this year. Ohio State and Notre Dame finished their season on January 20th. The proposed game in the 2028 College Football Playoff National Championship is January 24th. It's 4 days later than what was just played this year. I think, if I'm wrong, and I probably am, but the Vegas game the year before that, when they're taking the championship game out there, is played on the 25th or 26th. A lot of talk has happened over the course of the last couple of months, couple of years about shifting college football up and making sure that you're not running into the buzzsaw of the NFL, right? Like, you don't want that. Nobody wants that, especially $2 billion private equity funds. If they have a Big Ten team on TV.
They surely don't want that.
Guess what they don't want? They don't want themselves going up against the NFL playoff game.
Yeah.
So I I like it. It's going back to New Orleans. Cool. Okay.
Well, there's not even the NFL. It's these kids. I mean, how long is this season for these guys?
Yeah, 16,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
16,
I mean, Ohio State
games.
had
And if
what?
you're talking about expansion, which will probably have a bigger field by the time that we get there.
I mean, Ohio State had what, 3-4 weeks before spring ball started last year? Like, that's not enough time to get relaxed from a full season of football.
And then do winter workouts all before spring.
I mean, like, you miss all that because it goes so late. It needs to be moved up.
It does. I mean,
it should be beginning of January, cut off at like the 10th.
Yeah, I agree. Play your semifinals or whatever you need to do on January 1.
Well, then you got the portal coming in now, so you're going to be playing a game after the portal closes, right?
Private equity. Bowl games, portal, NIL. Who knows what college football is going to look like in the next 5 years? But I'll tell you one thing. It's not going to look like how it looks now.
No.
And it doesn't look now how it looked 5 years ago either.
Yep.
And that is crazy.
The one thing we do know is Ohio State's going to be involved in it somehow.
And they will be playing a majority of games on Big Noon Kickoff. This Ohio State team needs to grow up. It's not my words. It's Ryan Day. You're going to hear from him next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood. Even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and it's party time, baby, because the Grove City Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest is back Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. From noon to 9, you get wings, beer, live music, football on the big screen, and more. Don't miss the wing eating and bobbing for wings contest either. Ooh, veterans, military, and kids under 12 get in free. Get the tickets at AmericanNitro.com/wingfest. Presented to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Brex Paving, Darby Dental, and Equipment Rental. Wingfest 2025, the ultimate fall kickoff. Don't miss it.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. fresh for everyone.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. With Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU Football Insiders. You know it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Final segment for us. Coming up here, top of the hour. We'll get you to the inside edge. A little hockey talk. Some Jackets time. Approaching their season. Coming up, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Big
wild.
hockey guy?
Nope. I mean, I love the Blue Jays. They're fun, great games to go to.
Yeah.
And it's an awesome arena, and the fans are amazing. But
I think I'm going to try to get Willie out to a Jackets game this season. That cannon's going to scare the hell out of him.
Ooh, yeah. You got to think about the
scare him.
cannon.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, just it's just so quick. And I'm like, no, it's all the way back at the other
Where's
end
the
of the
puck?
ice now.
Yeah.
This is...
It is a great sport to go to.
No,
and
it
watch
is,
in
yeah.
person.
Oh, it's awesome to go and check it out.
It took me
Blue Jackets are
probably
great.
5 years to learn the rules, and luckily,
I still don't know.
luckily in college, we had like a couple of our roommates that we lived with were like diehard hockey fans.
Okay.
One was a Blue Jackets fan, and the other one was a Bruins fan. So it was on the TV all the time. And I sat down with him for a season. I'm like, you just tell me what's going on. Like, I just need to learn.
Use that, yeah.
I just need to learn.
I should know better because Rick Nash was drafted when I was in college, so he used to hang out with us a little bit. So you'd think I'd have gotten into it back then. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, he still is awesome.
Well, yeah, fair. Yeah.
President of hockey operations for your Blue Jackets. Rick
that
Nash.
he is.
So the Inside Edge coming up here at 7 o'clock. Thought this was good from Ryan Day yesterday on this team growing up kind of right in front of our eyes.
Well, one of the things this summer we talked about, we got to grow up in a big way, but you're seeing maturity. I mean, there's no way to shake it other than that. You're seeing guys handle themselves well like pros. They're executing on the field well. They're building confidence. I say all that, and you guys know what I'm going to say. Like, we're not anywhere near where we need to be. We have to continue to get better. We got a lot of work to do, but to play the way that we've played up to this point shows maturity.
Absolutely, it does, right? I mean, because I think case in point to what he's talking about, and I'll just go with an example that's front of brain kind of. I think maturity and growing up, it would be, you're watching Jeremiah Smith grow up, right? I think last year you look at his receiving stats and what he did, and controlling that offense was incredible. You're being forced to grow up in a way. Right now, it's like, well, maybe you're not going to get the ball 12 times a game. You're not going to be getting 15 targets. Like, there are other opportunities to win that doesn't involve you directly getting the ball. Now, you're going to have your fair share of opportunities. Don't get me wrong. But I think you saw him frustrated maybe the first couple of weeks with his lack of targets, or maybe Julian Sayin not being able to spot him. At least that's what I'm thinking of. Like, all right, everybody's growing up together. They have played some tough games. Washington on the road, Texas to open things up, a really good football team in OU a couple of weeks ago. Like, they do have to grow up. They aren't near where they're going to be or what you and I anticipate them being at the end of the season or in a probable, hopeful playoff run. But it's important for every team to face those adverse situations.
Yeah, I mean, and not even necessarily adverse situations. When I hear him talking like that, I'm thinking back to the game against Washington with the defensive line and the linebackers just all rushing as one, nobody getting out of their lane, just playing sound fundamental football. This is what we want to do. This is how we're attacking them. We don't need to be the hero. Just go out and do what we're taught in the game plan. And, for those guys to do that for 55 snaps or whatever it was that Washington had, like, that takes some maturity. Like, you don't need to go be the hero, and it 100% works. So, I think there's that. You hear him talk about Jeremiah, and just, I think that frustration was probably, he had a couple drops in the first game again, like he did the year before, and then he gets missed on one that could have been a big one.
He has every bit of a reason to get frustrated.
Yeah, but he also is such a good teammate and works so hard as, like, I understand. I'm going to do and be as good at my craft as I can, but I also just want to win. Yeah. And I just want to go back because he got the feeling of, putting that ring on his finger. And he's like, I want to go back because I know what that's like at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. What about Caden McDonald and Caden Curry and sticking it out and the way that these guys are playing right now?
And you're seeing KJ play with just great energy in the game. I mean, his body language, in my opinion, was as good as I've ever seen it. He played with great poise. He was encouraging his teammates. I thought he showed great leadership in the game and played really, really well. Caden Curry. I mean, Caden's somebody who has played a lot of football here, special teams wise, and has made a lot of plays, but now he's a key contributor. And, he's had his ups and downs along the way. But, in this program, between what goes on the field, what goes on in the weight room, what goes on off the field here, if you hang in there and you just continue to put one day in front of the other and build resilience up, you're going to get maximized. And those are two great examples of it.
Yeah, there was an old, I'm sure it was the same way for you, Jay-Z, up in the Mecca in Massillon. There was an old saying in our football locker room, champions are made when nobody's watching. Mm-hmm. And you get to watch these guys less than 0.5% during their entire career. You're not with them and waking up at 4 a.m. during winter workouts. You're not there bear crawling in the snow, running stadium steps, doing all that stuff. So what we get to enjoy and what we get to watch is Saturdays during 12 days in the fall, right? We get to watch them at their peak, what they have worked their entire lives for. And I do think it is a testament for both those guys for staying. Right now, it's never been easier to leave college. Oh. Caden Curry and Caden McDonald wanted to go somewhere 2 years ago. Oh, you got a scholarship, you run Ohio State, boom, you can go to another Power 4 team, Power 5 team back then. Things have changed. Easily could have gone somewhere else. But they said, you know what, like the process, like it here, I'm going to stay and see what I can do. And what is the old saying at Ohio State? Developed here. Yeah. You stay, you're going to be developed.
Well, that's what I take from hearing Ryan right there is these guys, Caden Curry played special teams. He paid his dues. They now are getting their chance to shine. So I think that's more like, hey, recruits, young guys, stick with the program. Mm-hmm. You come to Ohio State, you're going to be developed. You might not play right away. Other coaches are going to say, hey, you'll come here and start as a freshman.
You probably won't play right away.
Yeah, probably won't because, we just recruit that well. But that's like a message to recruits and young guys like, hey, all you need here at Ohio State is 1 good year, 2 good years.
Yeah.
You don't need to start from a freshman.
Play. You need all the good years.
You need to just figure things out, come in. Yeah. And then I think that's a message like just stick with the program. We will develop you here. All you need to do is, give everything you got. And at some point in time, if you are that guy, you're going to show it on a Saturday. Yeah. And, Caden Curry had a top 7 performance for a defensive player last week.
Yeah.
And then,
clean sweep of all the awards. Yeah. National awards, Big Ten awards.
For sure. So it's like, just bide your time. And when you get your chance, you got to just be there and be ready to take advantage of it. And these guys have.
He was kind of alluding to that a little bit more on what versatility means in that locker room.
You have to bring versatility. So if you're a receiver and you can only run routes and you can't block, you don't have a lot of versatility. You don't bring as much value unless you're just like really, really elite at that one thing. If you're a tight end, you can only block and you can't run routes, or you can run routes but you can't protect, you don't bring as much value, because eventually what teams are going to do is they're going to say, when he's in the game, he's doing this. Same thing with the running backs, like Xavier Johnson and some of the guys that we've had in the past who could do multiple things, bring so much value to the table. And so for me, like if you're a tight end and you can line up in the backfield and do some of those things that a fullback's asked to do, you bring value. If all you can do is line up and do those things as a fullback, you lose value, because now when he's in the game, it's 2 backs. So to answer your question, we're trying to find as many guys who can do multiple things so that we don't get nailed down when teams are game planning us.
I think I don't know if that was an extension of his answer about Caden McDonald and Caden Curry, but I think it echoes the exact same sentiment. Like, oh, you know what? If you're not good at this thing, you know what? You're going to work. But we're going to work on everything. You can't be excellent at just one thing, or else we can't put you in.
Well, I think we've heard him talk about, Max Clare a little bit. Like, when he first got here, it took him some time to really understand how we did things and what he needs to do to be on the field. And
looks way better as a blocker.
Exactly, right? So you can't just be good at pass catching. You got to do all the stuff that a tight end needs to do, and he's working on it and getting better. And I think it'll be fine in the end. But it's just that's the mindset of this team, and that's how it goes. So you either get on board or you don't.
Yeah.
Train's
going to leave.
Yeah, train's leaving, and we got a bunch of players, and they're all busting it ready to go. So you get on board and you roll with them.
Brian Hartline has long said that. Like, you can't play special teams for us, then you're probably never going to catch a pass. And there was no better shining example of that than a guy by the name of Terry McLaurin.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, like, I even remember Terry as a player here at Ohio State, be like, you know what? He's going to be a terrific gunner in the NFL. Fast forward all these years, Terry
Top 10
McLaurin,
receiver in
one
the
of the
NFL.
highest paid NFL receivers, superstar in DC, led his team to the NFC Championship game, was probably the best wide receiver in the NFL playoffs last year.
And NFL teams love to see that too. Oh, he does all the little things as well. He'll go on special teams. Like, I mean, that just helps you. That versatility that Ryan's talking about helps you get onto an NFL team because they can do multiple things. We can throw them anywhere and trust them to do what they're supposed to.
Jay-Z, had a great time tonight.
Yeah, it's already over.
I'll talk to you at midnight-ish, 1 o'clock-ish Saturday morning.
I'm going to have some coffee.
That sound good?
Saturday afternoon.
We'll talk to James. Everybody have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow for 2 hours with Murph. Inside Edge is up next on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio Sports